taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
But at least the week didn't start off with mid. You know, on Tuesday morning, if you were up, you know, yeah, you were treated to witnessing one of the most brutal execution of offense you've seen in a minute. Like, it's, you know, the shit was,
and a decent produced card from ESPN to boot.
Yeah, you know, of course, you know, we're talking about Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire. Now, obviously, we were all hyped for this fight because the first fight is a classic. It's a modern day classic. You know, Monster goes the distance in a hard fight, injuries galore, broken faces, blood, body shots, all that, you know, and, you know, Donaire, you know, gets a whole lot of respect. And then Donaire, instead, in a fight that probably should have really finished him, goes on to knock off two undefeated fighters and regain a portion of the bantamweight title. You know, and in contrast, you know, Top Rank kind of put Monster in these nondescript fights. Well, one was you know, on the level, and then the other two were just like a Mando and something that wasn't on US TV. So we weren't necessarily happy with how Top Rank was moving him. The fact that someone like Nico Ali was getting more mention on the broadcast than he was. And, you know, Nico Ali is not, he's probably not even the top jobber in his company right now, never mind a top contender. You know, it's like, you know, so it's a lot of different things, you know. And then, but yeah, Tuesday, I think everyone got a taste of why Monster is seen as a pound for pound, like top 3 fighter. Like, no, Donaire is a guy, he's been knocked out before. I mean, we all know he got knocked out at a weight far above his prime in featherweight against Nicholas Walters, a fight where he did manage to wobble Walters before getting KO'd.
Yeah, he legit hurt Walters bad in that fight, but it was at the bell or close to the bell.
Right.
Whatever. And Walters is tough, and he was able to, recuperate and come back and finish the job.
Right. You know, but this one was different. Now, before the fight, it was revealed that these two were not going to be wearing no winnings. Now, obviously, you got to be in the gym life to know what we talk about. We talk about gloves. So these two decided Monster was going to wear Reyes gloves, and then Donaire was going to wear MX gloves. So now if you say that to all three of us, we all knew what time it was going to be.
Somebody was getting knocked the fuck out. Like, because I remember I said, I'm like, you know, I think Monster's going to knock him out in the 10th. Once I heard what they changed their gloves to, I'm like, yeah, this won't last 5.
This wasn't gonna last long because I mean, there's a difference. Winning gloves are for people that have, you know, if you want that extra padding, you want that, you know, protection for your hands. Winning gloves are popular to use. Now,
I've never heard anybody use winning gloves in an actual fight, like an actual sanctioned fight. Like, usually those are sparring gloves and gloves you use in the damn gym.
Yeah, and the worst thing is that's what they used. Both guys used it in their first fight, and in injuries, like Donaire cracked Monster's face and broke his nose with winning gloves. So you know how much power that these niggas have, like, to do that. That's not a normal thing to happen with winning gloves like that. And so when when he did that, you know, MX, like, you know, they're both gloves like fucking horsehair. Like, it's like the very thin padding of horsehair on there. You know, so if you are quote unquote doctoring those gloves, you can really do some damage. But if you don't doctor them, you know, eventually over time, you know, the horsehair will probably spread naturally, so you might get more of an added effect of the punches, so to speak. So yeah,
especially if you're clenching your fists and hitting with the two knuckles.
I don't like Rayos because those hurt my hands. Like, yeah,
yeah, you gotta have some tough hands. Like, you
got tough hands, and you got a damn, because a lot of people, they don't punch with their fist balled up tightly, and that makes a difference a lot of times with how hard you hit somebody. Right,
because if you wear gloves and you punch something like that, you'll break something. Whether it's not just your hand, you might break your wrist. Like, I mean, like it's a lot. You can get a lot of serious hand injuries, and of course, if you don't wrap your hands properly, and that was a controversy too. You know, because the way with those gloves, you gotta wrap your hands kind of different. So they try to make a controversy out of nothing with the way that, you know, that Monster was wrapping his gloves, not knowing that Donaire was wrapping his hands the same fucking way, and neither of them seemed bothered about it. Like, and it was all legal wrapping too. It wasn't like it was illegal. So it's just like,
once both agree on it, then it is what it is. Because they knew what they was playing for. This was supposed to be on some you're gonna be the next best Asian fighter underneath Pacquiao type of fight.
Right.
That's honestly what they was fighting for. If you really put it in a higher context.
Yeah. Yeah, and then and once they put it around, because it's like pretty much like because like the shots that they landed on each other in 12 rounds in the first fight, yeah, that wasn't good. Now, I said if they landed those type of shots that for 12 rounds in this fight, someone would have been ruined. Like because you can't take punches like that for 12 rounds with those type of gloves.
I think Donaire landed a good shot. I remember him landing a right hand. I think maybe something else, but it's like Monster already had the adrenaline. He was already just jumped on dude, which was the best strategy for this fight.
Right. And then Monster, like I said, Monster has probably has like the best 6-inch right hand in the game today. And that was what caused the first knockdown. And it was the same punch that knocked out Jason Maloney in their fight. Like he caught Donaire with it right on his temple. Donaire later said that was the hardest punch he ever got hit with in his whole career. And it looked like it too. Because Donaire was in a daze. Like he got up, but the lights were on, nobody was home type of shit. Donaire was finished after that, and so he gets to the bell, he goes back out, and and then Monster keeps his hands up because he didn't want to get cracked with no left hook. Cracks him with the left hook, and you can say in the funny thing is Monster's shots are so compact and precise. Like when cats get hit with his punches, like you can see like certain things be shaking. Like in this case, Donaire's head like fucking just it looked like a video game glitch the way he got hit, and then his leg dipped, and then he back towards the ropes, caught 2 right hands, and then one of my favorite my favorite combination, a right hand followed by a fast left hook. Yeah, left hook. I don't think Donaire even saw that left hook. That's how swiftly he threw that shit.
That was a cleanup hook for your ass right there. Yeah. Honestly, easily Naoya Inoue is the best puncher in boxing, and he's been that way for years. Like the last 5 years. Like there's guys who punch as hard as him, and more is destructive, but like being a puncher and the best puncher it's different from being hitting the hardest, because when you're the best puncher, that means you get the best out of all your punches. That means all your punches are thrown perfectly, accurately, a maximum leverage. It causes maximum damage. Yeah. Like if you was to write down all the punches he throws, none would rank lower than a 9, and I think they're all 10s. Whereas if you take everybody else, like you would say like Roy Jones' left hook to the head would be a 10. His right hand would be a 10. His jab might be an 8 though. I'm just making it for an example. Like you can legit say Roy. Maybe that was a bad example, but
I mean Roy offensively in his prime, Roy was a 10 on all stats. Like it was
okay. Well, let me I take for example Brandon Rios.
Right.
His left jab is a 10 to me, or a 9, because his left jab was serious. His fucking inside uppercut might be an 8. Right hand an 8 or a 9.
Well, I think it was like his right hand, like dude had.
Yeah, you know what? Fucking Brandon Rios' right hand was good.
His right hand was like ridiculous.
But you know what happened? We talked about mid-level boxers so much that, for an example, I can't even go to one for my example. I'm picking out guys who got like great numbers and shit. I'm trying to make the example. I'm like, you know what? This guy, his numbers would be. Wait, that's Roy Jones, nigga. Hold on. Brandon Rios, that's a world champion. He, okay, like Brandon Rios' footwork would not be a 10.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Okay, Monster's footwork for what he has to do, that's a 10.
Yeah.
So that's the example I'm trying to make. Yeah,
because foot placement is everything for these punches. Like if your feet are not set to throw these punches correctly, you're not going to get the maximum effect, and you may even hurt yourself doing it if you're not cognizant of it.
Right. Every punch can knock you out that he throws. Body, like if he landed that shit Munguia caught, Munguia is like out.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, and that's what makes Monster's punching so it's brutally efficient. Like I mean, I wouldn't say it's not wasted. Like like dude will throw a couple throwaway shots like that just to lure you in. But
even the throwaway shots are thrown technically sound.
Yeah, they are. Because he does it because it sets up something. It sets up a left hook. It sets up a body shot. It sets up an uppercut. Like it sets up.
The technique doesn't falter. It's like you're getting. It's like he'll hit you with a ghost punch, and then the real punch will come right afterwards.
Yeah.
The intentions of the ghost punch is strong enough to stop you and worry about the split second punch that's gonna come afterward and knock you the fuck out.
Yeah, and Donaire, Donaire was in a daze. Like how Donaire actually got to his feet after the last knockdown is still beyond me. But the referee,
how he walked out the damn ring with no assistance got me.
Yeah, but the referee was just right to wave that shit off. I mean, even Monster knew. Like once that left hook landed, dude jogged to the ropes and got to the turnbuckles and celebrate. He knew that shit was done. Yeah, like Donaire was in a fucking daze. Donaire is not somebody that gets blown away like that. Like he does not even at 39. And Donaire was in a division where people at 39 are jobbers. They turn into jobbers at that age in that era. Like Vic Darchinyan, someone who was great at 112 and at 115, so like elite, and then became serviceable at 118, and then became jobberish at 122, and especially 126 when he got older, because he fought that long. But Donaire, that's a freaking nature right there, and to be that still be competitive at that age in that division, But yeah, Donaire doesn't get blown away like that. That's not how it goes for him. So yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're a boxing fan, you watch something that was a special performance. But the one thing that was fucking killing me was the niggas that was cats that were not putting respect on his name. Now, it's one thing if you want to criticize Monster about something as competition, fine. But if you're criticizing and you don't know what goes on in the divisions,
even that's a fucking hollow criticism. Let's be honest. That's a hollow criticism because you don't know who the fuck he's fighting.
Yeah, because we all know Donaire is probably his most known performance because Donaire has since crossed over to the American boxing scene. So he's known to a lot of people because Donaire has thrown himself into a fire with Indies hard fights many times over his 20-something years in the sport, almost 20 years. So that's what he does.
High level ops.
Yeah, high level. Monster has, if you don't know the division he's fighting in, you can't be out here saying that, this division is weak, this, that, and the third, or Donaire is old. Like, because you're not
they're just using the same criticism they use for Chocolatito. Right. Yeah, motherfucker saying Brian Valoria was nobody.
Right.
And if you know boxing, Brian Valoria was somebody. He is somebody.
Yeah, Brian Valoria was a problem. Was a real problem until he aged out. He got aged because that's what happens in those divisions. He aged out.
At those lighter divisions, you don't get this whole career mode training wheel. Focus
doesn't exist there. Doesn't exist there.
That shit might last for maybe 4 or 5 fights, and then you gotta fight some real comp. Like in other divisions, you could damn be 25-0, ain't fight nobody.
Right.
You gotta be damn good to be that way at them damn flyweight and super flyweight and all them other shit.
Light flyweight.
Light fly, straw weight, all that shit. You gotta be
the perfect example is Jesse Bam Rodriguez, who's fighting in a couple weeks. Dude had to Eddie jumped him up 2 divisions to take him out from a very dangerous veteran, and now he's getting thrown into it with someone who's still incredibly dangerous. That type of shit happens in the lightweight a lot.
Yeah,
and there's a lot.
And it's you can't say no because those opportunities don't come like that.
Right, because you either do that now or it never comes. That's how it goes. So, and that's what Monster has done this in 3 divisions now. Monster has blown away the top 3s in the division. He's knocked them all completely out.
This thing, niggas are so quick to box wreck opponents for other people when they trying to slander dudes, but y'all won't do that for the records for the dudes Inoue's fighting. Y'all let's say, oh, why is he above Errol Spence? Why is he above this guy? Why if you don't know who Jamie McDonald is, I can't tell you that Monster moved up in weight and destroyed this man in a round.
Or how you have a guy like Juan Carlos Payano that fought Luis Neri, Danny Roman, Gary Antonio Russell, Rasheed Warren, and none of them handled him as easily as fucking Inoue. Inoue destroyed him in one round while the others were struggled with him or went the distance with him.
Yeah, or lost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got guys like Omar Novarez, who Donaire went to the whole distance with.
Yeah,
and then it looked great.
It was.
And then Monster comes and just blasts him out of there.
Yeah, and had a whole string of title defenses. And Monster was the only person to ever drop him and knock him out.
Buddy was on some like, I don't care if you fight negatively and you just want to be on the defensive shit. Fuck that.
Right. But
you're getting stopped like everyone else. And I respect that, because people always be like, well, he wasn't trying to fight against that guy. He was trying to survive. Like, there's some people that won't let you survive.
Yeah, anyways, survival is not an option against Monster.
Yeah, you think you fucking surviving in a cage with a damn tiger? You surviving in a canal with a 13-foot alligator? Like, nah.
Yeah, you better hope he's not hungry. And Monster's always hungry for some food in the ring.
Exactly. Matter of fact, you might have a better chance surviving with that shit than Monster.
Right, like Monster's only been 12 twice in his career, and the only other time he won 12 was because he suffered an injury during the fight, which hampered his punching. You know, and that was the only other time he went 12. Like, and you know, and he looked, you know, probably the only fight you could say they even looked mid, if you want to really keep it all the way real.
We talking about the first Donaire fight. That shit really should have been stopped in the 10th or 11th round when he got the knockdown. Like, he had him stopped right there, and the ref fucked up in my mind.
Yeah, ref fucked that up.
So I mean, there's a lot of things with Monster. Whereas, like, if you want to make that argument, he was too old. Like, then why did everyone get excited when Spence was about to ready to fight Manny Pacquiao? No one was saying that Pacquiao was too old. Everyone was like, okay, this is the fight, because Pacquiao, because Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman, which because welterweights are welterweights, and they realized that he's still a thing. Or even a better example, let's say Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz was either 39 or 40 or whatever, depending on U.S. age, not Cuban age, of course.
Oh no, but at least Pacquiao and Donaire beat some people. Like,
right.
Then Ortiz just got his best win after already fighting Wilder twice.
Right, exactly, and
that's the best win that fucking Anthony Joshua been had early in his career. So it's like,
So so if you're gonna say that shit, then you gotta make sure you have to keep it all the way real. Like, if you then and Spence
consistency cop.
Yeah, else is just unnecessary bias. Like, bias that's unfounded, because and like I said, most people just don't think. People think the fact that that dude is just like and this is the same shit that Usyk gets too, because unfortunately, like I said,
but Usyk knocking motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
So it's like people complain about everything. They're gonna say, okay, damn, remember when Wilder was knocking motherfuckers out, was like, oh, knockouts, but not enough skills.
Yeah, exactly.
He's losing. Then Usyk starts outboxing motherfuckers. Well, he's not knocking dudes out. Monster does both, and it's like, well, I don't know the opponent, so fuck it, he's trash. Like,
yeah, exactly. And there's too much of that bullshit on Twitter. It was fucking unbelievable. It's like, and then of course, and then someone like Stephen Fulton got caught in there. Like, Stephen Fulton, we all know is an elite fighter at 122. He is. Like, Stephen Fulton might even one win is probably in the top 10 if you want to do a pound for pound list. He's certainly a top 15 fighter.
He's already in my top 10, but that's another story.
Yeah. But it's just like, but he shouldn't have to be the person that Monster beats, in order to make him legitimate. Like, he's
of course, but see, look, it comes back to this whole fan shit niggas be on. Like, a lot of y'all niggas, and I'm just saying it, like, there's nothing wrong, because I know race plays a part in boxing and the marketing and promoting and who we root for. But a lot of y'all can't open your mind up to boxing is a worldwide sport. So when y'all see certain black fighters get recognition, y'all gravitate and pull toward to them, because you see yourself in them, which is cool, because that's a part of boxing. But then y'all just think that's it, like the world ends and begins with them, and it's not. That's why you have straight up whole YouTube channels where motherfuckers don't even mention anybody else but a few fucking black fighters.
Right.
Like, when you speak to real boxing fans who know the whole sport, it just kind of, you'll see how limited your mindset is when you try to have those conversations. That's why I don't listen to everybody, because a lot of motherfuckers don't watch boxing like that for me to take them serious on listening to the whole sport. You niggas is only good for like a few fighters. Like, okay, this nigga's good if I want to hear about Charlos. This nigga's good if I want to hear about Anthony Joshua. This nigga's good. Nah, I need somebody who can speak on everything objectively and know what the fuck is up.
Right.
Hold on, I need Ring Gang. There you go.
Yeah, facts.
Now, cut all the bullshit out, and you're still getting different opinions, but you're getting different real opinions and not different bullshit opinions. Because some of y'all motherfuckers, y'all don't need no platforms.
Right.
I say stupid shit. And the motherfuckers with platforms who know better, y'all engage with these stupid motherfuckers, giving them a voice. If everybody just ignored terrible boxing takes for one day, might not 48 hours, because the first day motherfuckers would be like, all right, he gonna hear me this time. The second day, no. if people just ignored horrible boxing takes for 2 days, a lot of that shit would just disappear. Right. But motherfuckers give it light. And so a nigga always gonna be like, you know what? Gamboa could be Alexis Arguello. Yeah, I think that could happen. Like, niggas will start saying shit like that, and you just like, what? Right. Yeah, I think Berlanga could beat Jeff Lacey. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
yes.
What you mean he destroyed Robin Reed? Like, yeah, all y'all say you would hear stupid shit like that. Like, so yeah, I do my best not to retweet or engage in stupid shit like that. Yeah, or even share it to somebody else, because I'm not gonna show somebody's. If you find a dead body, I'm not gonna go and run a friend and tell a friend and be like, "Well, you want to see a dead body?" No, like, I'm doing this shit. I'm alive, motherfucker. Like, that's how y'all be with boxing Twitter. Like, you want to see something stupid? Here, this nigga said that Andre was such and such this. Like, what? Like, I don't care, man.
Yeah, and shout out to the Twitter account of Bad Boxing Takes here, because that shit constantly provides me with some unexpected entertainment. You know, some of the shit that gets forwarded to them and that they actually repost.
See, and I had to block that because I didn't want to see Bad Boxing Takes. Like I don't need that. Like, why does it? See, and that's the shit I'm talking about. Why does a channel like that exist? Like, why does
so that we can laugh at all the stupid boxing, and the takes are like they're so bad that they're good type funny. Like, yeah, like exactly. It's funny to me.
But that's the problem, man. Like, you got motherfuckers that motherfuckers start doing that shit for funny, and now it's less about what the sport need or what we talking about. It's just motherfuckers need to be funny. Motherfuckers need to be seen. I get this because you got enough stupid shit that gets passed as boxing takes. I don't need an account that compiled them and then share more. Like, what the fuck? That's like somebody like burning the food, and then there's somebody who's like, all right, well, don't throw it away. I'll take all the burnt food and distribute it to motherfuckers who like burnt food. Like, no. That's just done. It's destroyed. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
right.
I mean, but I get your point. Like, I see the whole, but like, I'm taking boxing serious. Boxing ain't no fucking fun and games unless it's a Ring Gang podcast.
Right.
I don't need to scroll through Twitter and see motherfuckers saying stupid shit all the time. Like, that's why shit don't get done, because motherfuckers think shit's a joke too much. These are same boxers that are having half-ass training camps because they looking at Twitter joking about some stupid shit instead of learning to slip a fucking jab.
Facts.
I'm just saying, like, somebody need to just fucking say, you know what, like, this shit ain't funny no more. Like, you niggas really need to learn boxing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
But yeah, and rant.
Yeah, no, for real. So yeah, like you cannot front on Monster, and like Steve Fulton, like, I mean, obviously, if Monster has, I think has put out the word that he wants Paul Butler because he wants to complete the cipher and become undisputed at bantamweight. He'd be the first one to do it in about 50 years, and then Steve Fulton, obviously, he wants Akhmadaliev, if he retains in a couple weeks, for a two-belt undisputed unification. Yeah, so obviously, if those two things happen, then yeah, they're both on the path to probably meet. And like I said, but Steve Fulton should not be the baseline. for Monster's greatness. Monster is already great right now.
Yeah, and this is Steve Fulton that still got unfinished business with Figueroa. So like, y'all niggas chill, man. Like,
yeah, like I mean, you gotta be careful because I mean, like I said, Steve Fulton was buzzed by Figueroa more times than people want to, most people want to admit. He got buzzed. So it's not. I mean, so his style, although he can box and he can brawl, like it's not proven that he can take. If he can continuously take big power. Because if Monster brings his power up to 122, I don't see a scenario where Fulton can really outbox him for 12 rounds without feeling it. Like not feeling it once. So
yeah, be careful what you wish for. Y'all trying to get Fulton KO'd. He just now getting on people pound for pound top 15s and shit.
Yeah, and also true. Like if it wasn't for, I mean, obviously because 122 has gotten an influx of American talent. Now, if there wasn't any American talent there, then no one would be saying that Fulton would be the baseline at 122. They'd be like, oh well, what's going on at 126 then? We don't know what 122 is.
Goalpost moving.
Goalpost moving. Yeah, like. So yeah, y'all need to stop that bullshit and just realize that there's a special fighter going on right now. That's in boxing, and just appreciate this while you actually can. Because dude is still young. He's still he's not at the peak of his. He hasn't. I don't even think he's even reached peak of his prime yet. To be honest,
I think so. It's long. Like I think he's peaked now. Like, but the way his style is and the way he fights. I think his peak is going to be here for a couple more years.
Right.
The peak, like your boxing peaks is crazy. Like some people's peaks could last a couple fights, some a year or two, some 1 year.
Some one fight like a Riddick Bowe.
Yeah. So it's different. Like you knew when somebody like peak and prime is different though. Like, So I think he's at his apex right now. Like, and anybody who's gonna cross his path, like, just know, like, that shit ain't gonna be easy.
Hell no, not at all. So yeah, like don't get all worked up. Trying to when sound for pound for pound, let's have Monster either at 1, 2, or 3, depending on what it is. Because truthfully, that's where he belongs.
He's number one to me, man. We all gonna start our top 15 pound for pound.
Number one for me too. He's number one for me too. So that's both of us.
Probably do an episode about it next week, but we're trying to knock out the list this week because it is middle of June. I know we say we normally do the list in every 6 months, but when boxing gets good, you got to alter it a little bit. So we'll probably do one now, do another one maybe October or September, and then we do another one in January or some shit. But might have to do 3 a year instead of twice. We can't reflect the fighters' contracts.
Right. Yeah, and that's actually probably a good segue into our last topic of the day, because obviously doing the pound for pound, there is a fight that will most